Hi, Winter Haven High School. I am Mrs. Hernandez, one of the school 9th grade counselors. Freshman class, we have created this presentation for you. It contains important information on how to graduate and how to be a successful high school student. In the next slide, you will also see Ms. Carpenter and information on the students we serve. Remember, Ms. Carpenter has students with last names A through L, and I have students with last names M through Z. On the last slide, we will provide our email addresses so you can email us with any questions you may have. If you are on campus, feel free to come see us. Let's talk about graduation requirements. Students, every class counts now. In middle school, you were only required to pass your 4 core classes. However, in high school, every class counts and every class affects your GPA. In order to graduate with a standard 24 credit diploma, students must complete the following requirements: 4 credits in English, 4 credits in math, including Algebra 1 and Geometry, 3 credits in science, including Biology, 3 credits in Social Studies, including World History, U.S. History, and Government and Economics, 1 credit in Physical Education, including an integration of health, 8 electives, an online course like HOPE or Driver's Ed. Now let's review some other requirements that must be met. You must pass the 10th grade FSA with a 3 or higher, and you must pass the Algebra 1 EOC exam. You must have a minimum GPA of 2.0. Let's go into further detail about that online requirement. Like we already stated, you must complete 1 class online through Florida Virtual or Polk Virtual School. You can pick up instructions for signing up during lunch in the cafeteria counseling office, or you can email your school counselor for more information. Parents must provide approval either by completing permission form or by calling or emailing your school counselor. Driver's Ed is a great course for freshmen to sign up for. Through Driver's Ed, students can complete the required 4-hour drug and alcohol course and be eligible to take the license exam for free. Oh, and free is great. Now let's talk about testing. Students, you must take testing seriously. I know you probably heard about these EOC exams, but what are they? An EOC is an end-of-year course exam, and it counts for 30% of your overall grade. I will say that again, one more time. 30% of your overall grade. Please refer to the chart for an example on how this is calculated. Subjects like an EOC are Algebra 1, Geometry, Biology, and U.S. History. Moving on to FSA. In 9th grade, the FSA determines whether you get a reading class or an extra elective. Students with 1 or 2 on the FSA will be placed into intensive reading. In 10th grade, you will take the FSA for graduation. Passing the FSA is a graduation requirement. Students will need to score 3 or higher in order to pass. Freshmen should consider taking the PSAT. It will help you determine what you need to work on in order to be prepared for college. Taking the PSAT will better prepare you for the SAT. The SAT and ACT are the tests used for college admissions. There are some great online resources available for testing, such as Khan Academy, College Board, and ACT website. Now, Ms. Carpenter will continue with the graduation policy.
Hey freshmen, Ms. Carpenter here, and I'm going to go over Polk County's graduation policy. Students, you will not be able to participate in the graduation ceremony if you have not earned the 24 credits required. You have to earn this by the end of the second semester senior year. In other words, if you have not earned your credits at the end of senior year, you will not participate in the cap and gown ceremony. Now, you will be able to participate in the graduation ceremony if you have earned your credits, but you have not passed that FSA reading or that Algebra 1 EOC, or if you don't have that 2.0 GPA. However, participation does not mean that you get a diploma. Instead, you will get a certification of completion. A certification of completion is not a diploma. Also, if you're going for that 24 credit standard diploma, you need to complete the requirements before you're 20 years old. You cannot be in high school after the age of 20. Often I hear, Miss, how do I get to my next grade? Well, let's talk about that. Students can earn half a credit for each semester passed. Students will earn 1 credit for both semesters passed. You take 7 classes, which means you have the opportunity to earn 7 credits this year. You do not earn credits for Fs. In order to be considered a 10th grader, you have to earn 5 credits and complete 1 year in high school. For 11th grade, you need to complete 11 credits and at least 2 years in high school, and in order to be considered a senior, you need 17 credits and 3 years in high school. So, if you are in 9th grade and you only pass your 4 core classes like that you were required to in middle school, does this mean you will go on to the next grade? No, because 4 classes means 4 credits and you need 5 in order to pass, which means you will need to take all of your classes seriously. Even if your class is not your favorite, it matters and you need to take it serious. GPA, you've heard it a million times, but what does it mean? GPA is your grade point average, and calculating it requires math. GPA is calculated every semester, so every January and June essentially. An A is worth 4 points, a B is worth 3 points, a C is 2 points, and a D is 1. F's get you nothing. Those points are for regular classes. If you are in honors, advanced placement, or dual enrollment, you earn more. The advanced courses are weighted. Honors provides an extra 0.5 point, and AP and dual enrollment add an extra full point. You will often hear weighted versus unweighted GPA. Unweighted is when your GPA is calculated without including your extra points for advanced courses, and weighted GPA factors in those bonus points. If you refer to the chart in this slide, there is an example. All right, here comes the math, y'all. I left in this US history example so that you can reference it for weighted points, but this is how we calculate GPA. You add up all your points. Add up the points for the letter grade for each class and then divide that by the total number of classes you are taking. Refer to the example at the bottom of this slide. GPA is life. Why? Because you need a 2.0 to graduate and you need a 2.0 to play sports. Some freshmen came into high school with the GPA because they took high school classes in middle school. But for most students, your GPA will be calculated after the grades post for first semester. So some of you may lose your privilege to play sports when that GPA comes out in January if you aren't at that 2.0 mark. For students who plan to attend one of our state universities, there is some information you need to hear now so you can stay on track throughout high school. So if you plan to attend a public state university like FSU, UF, USF, UCF, or more, listen up. You must have the 24 credit diploma, competitive ACT or SAT scores, 16 credits of college prep courses that include 2 years of the same language. Now let's talk about what is considered to be a college prep course. State universities want to see courses that are more rigorous. With math, for example, you will see in this slide that it says Algebra 1 and above. We are talking about geometry, Algebra 2, calculus, etc. We are not talking about math classes such as liberal arts math. State universities are competitive and they would like to see you take challenging courses rather than courses that can be considered to be easier, so to speak. This chart is hard to read, but it goes into detail about the various universities and what they look for. It is good information to be aware of so you can get on track now as a freshman. For a copy of this information, you can email or ask to see your counselor. Continuing with college admission, most universities generally like to see a 3.5 GPA or higher. Your more competitive schools, like UF for example, look for a GPA of 4.4 or higher. Colleges and universities also look at your class rank, honors and AP courses, dual enrollment, and they will look at your extracurricular activities and overall involvement with the school. They may consider your volunteer and/or work experience, and those ACT and SAT scores will be reviewed. Many colleges and universities ask that you write an essay in order to apply, so having quality writing skills is essential. And finally, you will be asked to submit recommendation letters. Now let's move on to community service. Forms are available during lunch in the cafeteria counseling office. Mrs. Farthing is the community service coordinator and the contact for all your questions concerning community service. She is available to answer questions after school. She is also available on Wednesdays during lunch in the cafeteria counseling office or by email. Remember that your plans must be approved. These plans must be submitted to Mrs. Farthing before you start to log your hours. The information is available on the school website under Community Service. Speaking of community, let's talk about extracurricular activities. When we mention extracurricular activities, we are talking about playing sports or participating in clubs. Pay attention to BDTV and the morning announcements for more information on tryouts and club meetings. There are tons of benefits to being involved with school activities. Being involved has proven to improve academic performance, raise self-esteem, provide social opportunities, community service hours, and it looks great on college apps. And finally, freshmen, stay woke. There are a lot of ways you can stay informed of the things happening at Winter Haven. You can sign up for Mrs. Williams' Remind account by texting at WHHSUN to 81010. You can visit the school's webpage regularly or like us on Facebook. You can also watch BDTV, and even if you miss a show, episodes are available on our Facebook page and on YouTube under BDTV Winter Haven High School. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You want to get in the know now so you can't say, well, I didn't know. Being aware helps you stay successful in and out of the classroom. Again, feel free to come see us or email us if you have any further questions. Thanks for listening, Winter Haven.